Okay, welcome to day number 3 of Google Circles. This is Wednesday, July 2nd, 2009.
What?
Okay, so that was like a grenade. I just wanted to see how long it would take for anybody to respond. So 2014. We're going to try to pick, we were going to try to pick up where we left off yesterday. We're not going to be able to do that because, again, we still can't get any new numbers from Google Voice. Before we started the call, we looked at the video, the short 1-minute video from Google about what Google Voice does, about being able to have customized greetings. So, and that is attached to today's Google Plus event notice. I suggest everybody watch it. It makes it very simple to understand how these setting up custom greetings or the value of custom greetings works. Today we're going to look at my Google Voice account, and we'll have that. I'll share my screen, so we'll go through the stuff that we would have done if we had Google numbers.
Okay.
And that will be on a Hangout on air, so you'll be able to see it in the future. So you can always go back to YouTube and find the video when you're setting it up on your own. It is possible that Google might not give out free phone numbers anymore. And maybe what we're finding that we can't get numbers now. Maybe they're just doing this as sort of the pre-announcement of, oh, well, in Google Voice, you have all the benefits of Google Voice, but we don't have any free numbers. You're going to have to use your cell phone or your home phone. Okay, I don't know, but let's assume that is true. Okay, so that would be what we call Plan B.
In which case, it would be beneficial to have an Obama phone to give that phone number, because if you have a Google,
okay.
Smartphone.
Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. Okay.
Yeah.
So Plan A is you have a Google Voice number and you have your cell phone number. The cell phone number from this point forward for the rest of your life, you only give your cell phone number to people who you cannot imagine ever regretting giving the cell phone number to. Okay?
That's hindsight.
Okay, but now you just start the thing of, okay, I'm only going to give it to myself. I'm not going to give anybody my cell phone number. And you might say, well, I can trust my mom. I can trust my dad. I can, and then you start increasing the people you would give your cell phone number to. Another benefit of having your cell phone number separate from your Google Voice number is sometimes we change carriers, sometimes we move, sometimes we do a lot of things and we change our phone number. With using Google Voice and only having some people have your Google Voice number, you don't have to get them involved in I have a new number.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Big bonus.
So Plan A is to have 2 numbers, your Google Voice number and what? Your cell phone number. That's Plan A. Plan B occurs if Plan A doesn't work, meaning you can't get a Google Voice number. Then your Google Voice number becomes your cell number. Now, was it yesterday, Bill, that you pushed the button that said, yes, you make my cell phone number?
Yes.
Okay.
And I entered it as well.
Okay, so Bill was able to use his cell phone number as his Google Voice number. That worked. What didn't work was getting a new number, which goes to my hypothesis that maybe Google's going to stop giving free numbers.
Seems like they'd say something.
Or start maybe, and maybe that's what the thing is all about. They're having internal stuff. Who was it? Was it you, Rob? Somebody yesterday said the phone companies that control the numbers.
They can't be on all these numbers.
Huh?
They can't be on all these numbers in different accounts already.
Well, it's not that they're out, but the people who control them aren't giving huge blocks to Google, or Google buying them, or whatever the story is. So, so if Plan A is over, meaning if Google is going to not give any free numbers, then what we're left with is what?
Use our cell phone number.
Plan B.
Yeah.
Okay. Or if you can't use Jose, then you have to use Jose B. Right?
But as a question, how many people already have two cell phone numbers? I have an Obama phone and I have my AT&T cell phone, so I already have two numbers.
I got you too.
Okay. So now we'll switch over to that. So if you happen to have an Obama phone, how many people here have Obama phones?
Everybody has one. Even the ones that have Google, regular phones have a.
Well, they don't have one.
Well, because they, I
I know, I'm
They were
sorry.
allowed.
You will.
Okay. So, okay, so if you have an Obama phone, then you could use that. Well, let me start this way. If you have an Obama phone and you could get a new number, you might want to use your Obama phone as the number you give people that you don't care about.
Okay. That's kind of right.
Because that's the one that's going to drop.
Yeah,
right?
it's only good for a year.
Okay, so you might want to use your Obama number as the number you give people who you don't really, who you're worried about having your cell phone number. Give them your Obama number. You don't give your Google Voice number. You might have that as your plan A or plan B1, I'll call it, just to amuse myself. Okay, now let's assume we're going to use our cell phone number as our Google Voice number. And for people in California, I'm not suggesting doing this right now. Let's wait. Let's see, Rob, did you send an email in?
Yeah.
Okay, but you haven't heard. Okay, so we're waiting for information from Google, a response on what's happening with these new numbers.
So pretty much by Monday, we should know something.
No, not necessarily.
Kind of like YouTube, Monday.
Yes, Anita.
My Obama phone has a lot of major companies on there, like doctors and everybody that contacts me, so I probably shouldn't use that function.
Actually, you probably should. That's the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
Those are numbers you want to keep as permanent numbers.
Right.
Okay, but in the future, well, we'll talk about Obama phones after. That's not important for this call. All right, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to assume, we're going to pretend that everybody has a number. I'm going to put my Google Voice account on the screen, so people can see how it works. So you can see that. And then I'll go through the different things of setting it up, and we'll have it on this YouTube video. Now, are there any questions in California about what we're doing or why we're doing it? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
No.
Okay, good. All right, so I am going to now switch over to my screen. Is Fernando there today?
No, he isn't.
Okay. Who is there?
This
Victoria's there, right?
Victoria is here.
Okay, so
Apologize.
this is another school project that we want everybody to know about. It's called the spqr.us. And the purpose of this is to encourage people to exercise their right to vote. That's the purpose of this one. So it's a school project that we have going. We'll talk about that at some other point. Okay, so I'm going to now I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to go to Google Voice. And for me, the fastest way to get there to type in the Omnibox google.com/voice. proceed. Okay.
I just want to see if this was
Okay. Okay, so the internet is very slow for right now. Okay, so we're waiting for Google to load. Okay. So here we go. So this is my Google Voice account. That was my Google Voice account. Here it is. It's back. Okay, so it looks a lot like Gmail.
Right.
I think from even back there you can see. So each of these things on the right are calls that came in. I have an inbox that says I have 1,984. It shows as unanswered calls, but they're not unanswered because it goes to my cell phone. I answer it there. And then you'll see there is a.
Is that a transcript?
Yeah, this is below is a transcript of the call. Okay, which is one of the things we talk about of why Google Voice is so powerful. So
Or
on this one here,
dangerous.
so here's the second one is a call to me, and the translation does not come out very well. But one of the things I can do is that the phone number, there's a phone number in here. If I click on that, it will automatically call. If I had my headset on, I could make the call. I can also click down here and make the call. I can text that person back, and then I have more.
And what's more than that?
I could mark it as unread. I can add a note. So here I could add in, okay, call. Something like that, okay? Also in more, I can email it. So if I want to pass that on to someone else, I got a call today, somebody so-and-so left me a voicemail, here's the voicemail they left me. Instead of just summarizing the voicemail I got from somebody, I could attach it to an email to someone so they could listen to it. I can download it in case I want to have it for future reason, for whatever, for some reason for the future. I can embed it. So let's say President Clinton called and left me a voicemail message about the SPQR. Hey, you guys are doing a great job, whatever. So I would click on that, and it gives me this code. I can write a caption,
Oh, I see.
and then I would cut and paste that, or I'd give it to Rob, and Rob would cut and paste it into whatever site we wanted. Okay, very, very powerful stuff. It also shows me how long the call lasted. It was 46 seconds. So I have 516 voicemails, 638 text messages.
How long do these stay on? Do they ever
So
fall
you
off?
delete them,
So you delete them.
or until you run out of space.
What are the how likely is that? As busy as you are, how likely do they?
Okay, so Microsoft 365, which is Microsoft's sort of version to compete with Google. Last week they announced that if you signed up for Microsoft 365, which is their cloud version of Office, they will give you 1 terabyte of storage.
Ooh,
Not a lot.
I don't know what that is, but
Yeah.
it sounds big.
That's 1,000 gigabytes.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
I wouldn't say never.
so Google immediately responded with, if you sign up for Google apps, we will give you 5 terabytes.
Holy moly.
Now the problem is, you will fill it up. I remember back in the old days where they had floppy disks. Who remembers those?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, and they were 525K. And the thing was, and then they came out with the small 3.5-inch ones that were like 1.4 meg, and a 10 megabyte hard drive. And people said, 1.44 megs on a disk. That you're never going to fill that up.
Huh. And that's why they had trays of them.
Yeah, but it was for different things.
Right.
Okay, 10 megabyte hard drive. That's like a dictionary. That's like the Encyclopedia Britannica. You're never going to need that. Okay, and you can't even load. How much is Microsoft Windows 7? How much space is Windows 7? Okay, so it might be 2 gigs just for Windows 7.
So how many gigs are in a kegger or whatever it was?
A terabyte?
Terabyte.
1,000. Okay. So anyway,
Wow.
so the point would be, the trend is you will never run out of space. You'll always be able to go back and retrieve messages and phone calls from people. Okay, here, let's go back to this one here, the top one. Hi Ed, this is Liz Domino, here's my address. Now, I can add her to my contact list by clicking add. Okay, so she's now been added,
So.
and I added her email.
So you just added her to your email or to your contact list. Now you need to put her in circle as well.
Okay, so let's see if they do this. Watch this.
I bet CSI loves this shit. Right?
Okay, so
Seriously.
That's what's got these two people already.
okay, so I clicked on Liz Domino. So this is not her full contact.
What a cool name.
Here's what I can do though. When this contact goes to voicemail, I can, right now it's set for the all contacts greeting. So that's my default
Okay,
greeting.
Standard, yeah.
Okay, but look. Look at all the standard ones I have. I have one called All Contacts Greeting, System Standard, My Greeting, another My Greeting, Test, Employment, Stephanie, and My Greeting. So you can have a lot of different greetings stored.
Oh, cool.
I got a question, Director.
Yeah.
The history, is it from both your cell phone as well as your Google number because you have them attached to each other?
No, it would.
No.
Well, if it's attached, then it's not separate.
Okay.
But right now, if people call my cell phone
Yeah.
and they call my cell phone number, I don't have it attached.
Okay.
So those voice messages don't go to Google Voice.
They don't get forwarded to your cell phone?
I don't have it set up that way.
Okay.
Google Voice forwards.
That's personal.
If people call my
This is
Google
everything
Voice,
else.
it forwards
To email, right?
to the phone number. If you call my Google Voice number, it will be forwarded to my cell phone, and I can have it forwarded to 3 other phones.
Okay. All right.
Work phone, home
All
phone,
right, and that's what
okay?
Bob did for me yesterday.
So now we're getting back to that golden, not the golden circle, but the circle of friends.
Correct.
This is This
Yeah.
is the cell phone people, this is everybody else. This
Yes,
is all the Google.
exactly. That's a good way to think about it. Now, here's when Liz Domino calls and it goes to voicemail, right now it's set to standard greet, my all contacts greeting. Another one I have is record new. So I could create a new greeting and I could call this Italian American Club. Okay, and then I hit continue. Now what Google would do, this is how easy it is to set up to create a new greeting. I didn't need to go to create greetings. I got a person. I added them to my contact list. Now I'm going to create a custom greeting that I will put other people in that. So, okay, so it's called that. Phone to ring. What phone do I want it to ring? My Google phone. Remember my choice. Now, what's going to happen is I get a call. So it said calling me. We'll check out that. I get a call on my phone and it says, okay, leave your greeting. So it calls your cell phone or whatever number you have associated with your Google Voice number. It calls that number and says, okay, leave your greeting. That's how easy it is. Okay. Now here's another one, enable call screening. What is call screening?
If you want to block people.
How does call screening work? Call screening says, who's calling?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it says to you, so-and-so's
It's like the
calling. Do you
caller
want to
ID.
take the call or do you want to send it to voicemail? No, it's not like caller ID. It's better than caller ID.
That's why I don't say.
It's the next level of caller ID.
When you call someone, it
Next
says
level.
state your name,
Star
after the
69.
beep,
Correct.
and then it goes through to you,
Okay.
and then when you hear it, it's.
Yes,
Now,
exactly.
where was this called greeting?
Right here, call greeting or screening.
The screening.
Okay, right here.
No, you don't want to talk to them.
How will we get bill collectors that number?
It says enable call screening.
I gotta go to my contacts.
Well, what you would do for a bill collector is you would go in here into your Google Voice. So let's go back.
Yeah.
Let's pretend,
One more time.
let's pretend this one here is a bill collector.
Okay.
So I click on add and I say bill collector. Okay. Then I click on them and I get back to this page, which is my I'm in contacts now.
Okay.
And then here, when I get down to the greetings, I could create a greeting for the bill collector.
This guy DC's want to cancel my bill.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't use the service, whatever.
Yeah.
You could have, I'm not recommending this, but just to go with this hypothetical, you could have someone else who's not you say, hi, this is Jamie. You know, let's say it's a girl whose name is Jamie. This is Jamie. I want you to know this is not the other Jamie. I'm not Jamie Beto. Okay, now that would be true, right? Because the woman on it is not Jamie Beto. So please don't leave a message for Jamie for Jamie Beto on this phone. What does the caller think?
So they changed the number.
Right,
I don't have a greeting.
right. That it's someone else.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll last for like 3 calls, then they'll figure it out.
But
Okay,
it's
so
still,
I don't recommend that. Okay. So that's how easy it is to set up. That's how easy it is to set up custom greetings. Now we're going to look at something else. I want to go to settings. So now I'm in settings. So this would be the first screen that we would get if we had our number. This is where you configure your account. And there are YouTube tutorial videos about this as well.
Okay.
But first is setting up your phone. It has your voice number, so it has the number. And then it talks about where do you want to forward the calls to.
Do you forward them to your cell phone, house phone, or office phone,
No,
whatever
your
you want?
Google phone. Oh,
And then it put the call through, but it says you are not.
Another thing, Director, once we got this set up,
That was-
we'd enter this on like our resumes too.
What?
After we get our number and we get this all set up, we put this on our resume too.
Yeah,
All
this
our
is the
phone
number that you would have. This is the number that you would use because,
Instead of your cell number.
so, okay, so Jamie brings up another good point. Your Google Voice number is the number you want to use in your employment planning.
Okay. That's what I wanted.
Why?
Because they.
So you can give them a custom greeting,
Oh, for the category.
Yeah.
okay?
I forgot that.
That's why we're doing Google Voice.
I know I gotta get scheduled.
Okay. All right. So now, yesterday when I was trying to set up the account, the Google Voice account, I used my phone. So here's an important thing to know. If you have a Google Voice and you want to set up Google Voice for someone else that doesn't have one, and you use your cell phone, it will associate your phone with that other person's number.
Yeah.
Okay? So it will not ring your phone. So if they call your Google Voice, it's not going to ring your phone.
Oh, that's nice.
But what I just did
That's not the business.
is it says you can reclaim the number. Okay, so I just reclaimed my number to my cell phone so that my Google Voice is now attached, is again attached to my cell phone.
Director Fred made a call to me.
Trying to find out what the phone number is.
He made a
for
call
this.
to me, but
For what?
It's the Google Voice.
he
Well-
doesn't have a phone number. He called me, but he doesn't have a phone number.
Her number shows up on the her computer.
Well, if you're in Google Voice,
You can-
where I am, look at the screen.
Yeah.
Right here in the lower left corner, it says your phone number. Okay? So on the lower left corner is the phone number. All right, but back to where we are. So
Check that out.
I now have it so that if people call my Google Voice number, it forwards to my T-Mobile cell phone. And then I check these boxes here for receive text messages and notify me of new voicemail via text. Okay? If I wanted to add a home phone, I go down here on the bottom and I click where it says add another number. And I can do that for a total of 4 different phones. So you could have your husband, you could add your husband's phone, wife's phone, your kids' phones, whatever. Or your kids can set it up so that if somebody calls their phone, your phone also rings.
You don't have no
CSI, like I said.
Right. Okay? So that's now setting up the phones. That's the first part in settings. Voicemail and text. Here is the basic greeting, voicemail greeting page. So you can see you can set up, record new greetings.
So we can record, I can record my greeting from right here.
Yeah. Record name, voicemail notification, where do you want it to go, text forwarding. You can set up a PIN number for security. And you can click on where it says transcripts, calls.
Record your own name.
So here is how the calling stuff works. Here's the calling page. Call screening. I have it off. You can turn it on. Caller ID incoming. Display caller's number. Or you can have it display your number so that you
That's in
know.
calls, Director? I got lost.
Yeah,
Where's
so
the
it's
call
on
screening?
calls. Call screening is at the top on calls and settings.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, now, caller ID incoming. So you have a choice of, you can have the caller's number, or it can say your Google Voice number. Why would you want it to show your Google Voice number?
Because that's the number you want them, you don't want them to have.
Now, this is a call comes in on your phone. Your phone rings, you look at it, it could either be their number, or it could be your Google Voice number. Why would you want it to be your Google Voice number?
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to.
Well, you would know that it's a call coming in from somebody you gave the Google Voice number to.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, if you had call screening turned on, now you decide whether you want to answer the call. But you know that it's somebody calling your Google Voice number.
So you know that it's either business or school, or, you know.
Yeah,
something
because
you want.
otherwise, if it says display caller's number, you're not going to know which number they called. If when your phone rings, it shows their number, caller ID is turned on, you don't know what number they called. They don't know if you don't know whether they called your Google Voice number or your cell phone number.
Ah, so that's why,
So that's why this is on here.
right.
So at least you would know, oh, it's a call that came in on my Google Voice number.
But that still doesn't tell me who they are.
You don't know who they are, but call screening would tell you who they are.
Oh, okay.
But at least you know how to answer the phone.
All right.
And remember when Josh was in here,
Yes.
Leighton, what did he say about when your phone rings? No, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Oh, right, yeah.
He
Okay.
said always be ready.
So if your Google Voice number popped up on here, oh, this isn't somebody I can say, hey, what up? Right? This is somebody I have to act like I'm a professional person to. Okay?
Which actually, considering how important phones are, you don't really have to be a slave to your phone if you use this. You
Correct.
Let it take care of all that. You got a full-time secretary
Exactly.
at all levels.
So again, this is why it's Plan B. If Plan A doesn't work, Plan B is much better than keeping your current cell phone. Do not disturb. Okay, let's say you're going to the movies
When you're in school.
or you're in school. Do not disturb.
And it'll give them a message that you can't be disturbed, or
Yeah, well, I think it goes right to voicemail.
oh, okay.
Or maybe it says that do not disturb is turned on. Please leave a voicemail message. Missed calls. Place missed calls in the inbox. Send missed calls to my email. Call options. Enable recording. Okay, so here's a feature on Google Voice. It's very powerful,
So that should be.
but it's not necessarily legal. Depends what state you're in.
What's not legal?
Recording of the person. Recording of the person. Here it is. As long as one person knows. And you can count yourself as that.
Yeah, in Nevada, if one person knows that the call is being recorded, it's okay. That's to prevent police or third parties tapping your phone to give, so they don't have permission.
But not the national
So you
security.
can get. I
Correct.
can put my spam.
Because they will
calls.
deny it. Okay? Okay, send missed calls to myself, enable that.
Voice not legal.
Enable is not, in California, no, I think California, one person needs to know too.
I think it's the same thing.
Okay, but in some states, both people need to know.
You have to
What are you talking about now? I don't understand.
Recording the call.
It's illegal wiretapping.
Is that
in some
personal or
states.
business, or both?
Period. Period. You can't
Yeah,
just start.
period.
You know
Can't just
how, like, when
report
you call a
somebody. You
business
have to
and
tell
they
them. Some
say for
states here you
quality
can.
control purposes,
Right.
this call is being recorded.
Exactly.
Unless you have that type of greeting on your phone, you're not supposed to be recording calls.
But I thought
Unless
he
you
said
work
only
with
one
business.
person needs to know it.
Nevada.
Now.
In Nevada, but some states,
Some states won't, you can't.
I'm talking about Nevada. I don't care
Yeah.
about other states.
Here you can, as long as you know you're recording, it's good enough.
Good enough, good enough.
okay? So that is another powerful,
Right.
that's another powerful feature. Okay, so we've hit the time wall.
You have the
So
transcribe.
we're going to end this call. in California, tomorrow we're doing our testing. We usually do it on Friday. We're doing testing, so we're not going to have this call tomorrow. But are there any questions about the stuff we've worked on today?
No.
Okay, so let's treat Google Voice as kind of like an appetizer to what the future will be with Google Voice. Let's treat it as what the future will be, and we'll come back to Google Voice once we have an answer to why we don't have numbers. So we might do it next week, we might not, but we're not going to have this call tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be testing day here in California. All right? Thank you, everyone. And I'll be sending out the professional emails to the new students today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.